So we are going to take a look at our addition strategies. Remember, we are working on adding numbers fluently up to 1,000. We are going to learn different strategies of how to do that, just like we learned different strategies for rounding. You do not have to do every single strategy every single time. You're just finding the strategy that works best for you, okay? Today we're going to look at a strategy from Mr. Mejia, who is going to teach us about how to use the standard algorithm. So standard algorithm is a word that we use to describe the normal way. Okay, so adding 3-digit numbers just by stacking them up and working through them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this video going for us, and then we will talk about this and take a few examples. I'm going to share the screen. I'd like for you to pay attention. This video is very short, and we will use this strategy to practice some addition problems when we are done.
Is when you have a 3-digit number, like let's say 342, okay? Make sure to line up every single digit with its proper place. And let's say I want to add 263, okay? My ones are lined up with the ones, my tens are lined up with the tens, and my hundreds are lined up with the hundreds. So you think that if you think of each place value as a sort of zone, sort of kind of like a cube, you'll be all right. Just like that. Okay, we can't forget the addition sign. Now, you always want to start at the ones place. If you start over here, it gets a little confusing. So let's always start from the ones. 2 plus 3, that is 5. 4 plus 6, now that's 10. But look, that's not correct. We can't put a 10 all in one little cube. That's too big of a number. So what do I do? Okay, well, we have our number 10 right here, right? There's the ones place, and here's the hundreds place. The ones place should have its own little cube. If you think of each digit as being kind of selfish, it wants its own little cube to itself. That helps a lot too. So what do I do with this this tens place? Well, that gets regrouped to the next section. In this case, the hundreds. Okay. So now what we want to do is add every single digit that appears in this section. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 1, don't forget that 1, is 6. So my answer is 605.
So go ahead and look at that page that we were on. My page is full, so I'm just going to turn to the next page. Some of you put this on the next page yesterday, so you might have some room on that page. But wherever there's room next, we're going to look at the line up strategy, okay? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer, and we're going to call this the line up strategy. This strategy is very important for people who struggle to keep things neat. And as we're just learning how to write and how to write, especially on a screen, that's definitely going to be some times that we need to practice being neat, okay? It's really hard to write on a screen, so this line-up strategy might help you do that. Okay, so you are using the line-up strategy. Go ahead and label your notes, line-up strategy. Line up strategy. The lineup strategy is just like Mr. Mejia showed us. It's making columns for our ones, tens, and our hundreds, okay? Now on Seesaw, when you do this work, we have provided a note, or I apologize, not a note, a graph paper item for you that's going to give you this place automatically. However, you won't always have graph paper to help you make your work neat. So Mr. Mejia showed us a great way that we can do that. So let's take the problem that we've been using, which is 264 plus, I forget, 529, plus 529. So 264 plus 529. The lineup strategy is simply creating a space or a cube for each answer, just like Mr. Mejia had showed us. So what we're going to do is in between the tens places and the ones places, we're going to draw a line right down the middle. We're also going to do the same thing between the hundreds and the tens, a line right down the middle. And notice my line extends upwards in case I have to regroup, and it extends down below my equals bar for my answer. Okay? Now we know that we can only have one digit in each of the place values. So we're going to go ahead and create one box for each of the place values. This is a very simple, easy way to make sure you are lining up your digits, okay? Everybody take your pencil or your pen and put it down. Okay, you are not writing what I'm about to write. Do you understand? Do not, do not, do not, do not, do not pick up your pen or pencil and write this. Got it? Leave it down. Are you going to pick up your pen? Shake your head. No. Are you going to pick up your pencil? No. Are you writing this? No. Okay, good. I thank you for those of you that are being responsible and respectful and answering the way that you know you're supposed to. I appreciate that. All right. This is why it's important to line up. Because when we don't take time to line up, especially if we're writing on a screen, sometimes our work ends up looking like this. 264 plus 529, and we go to add it, right? This is not lined up. Look what happens when I go to line. Oh man, my ones on my lower number are empty. They're supposed to be right here. So this helps me to see, oh man, I need to write that more neatly. So then I can try that again. 264. I could even draw my lineup chart before I write to help me. I could even do it that way. And then I could just fill in my hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay? So this is why it's important to use your lineup, because if you go to do this, you're going to get the wrong answer. Let's pretend that these are dollar signs, right? Let's pretend they're dollars. 264 plus 529. What's going to happen when I owe someone 13 ones, but I try to pay them with only 4 ones? Am I going to get what I need from the store? No. What happens when something costs me 6 tens and 2 tens, but I were to give them 6 tens and 9 tens? That's way too many. So we can't just say, oh, I can add any number that I want to. These have a value. Just like you couldn't walk into the store with 4 ones when you need 4 and 9 ones, okay? So this lineup strategy is a way to help you make sure that your ones are with your ones, tens are with your tens, hundreds are with your hundreds, okay? Lineup strategy, all right? What questions can I answer about the lineup strategy? Terrence?
So, are we supposed to be doing the answer?
We're going to look at that here in a minute. I'm just saying what questions are about the strategy. Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take a look at finishing our notes here with the example of how to line up our ones, tens, and hundreds. So now pick up your pen or pencil. Now, yes, I want you to write. We know that our 4 ones plus 9 ones is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have to regroup my 1, 10 into the tens place and put my 3 ones in my ones place, because we know that 13 is the same as 10 plus 3. Now I have a 10 plus 6 tens, that's 70. Plus 2 more tens, that's 80, 90. So I put a 9 in my tens place. And we know that 200s plus 500s is equal to 700s. So 793. Okay? I want us to go ahead and practice using this strategy. So now we're just going to draw the bracket. So go down where you have some space. And I notice I need one line for my top addend, another line for the bottom addend, and another line for what it equals. I also need a line up top for regrouping. So I'm going to draw a line for my ones and tens going down 4 lines. Regrouping, top addend, bottom addend, equals bar. So it's going to be 4 lines tall. I'm going to do the same thing for my tens and hundreds. Regrouping, top addend, bottom addend, equals bar. Now I'm going to go ahead and create my addition symbol and my equals bar. And it's as easy as that. We've created ourselves a bracket to help keep our place values separate. Sometimes it's helpful to draw the bracket first, because then we have an exact place for our numbers, okay? So I'm going to now go ahead and fill this in with an equation that I'm going to make up. I'm going to put a 6 in the hundreds. I'm going to put a 3 in the tens. And I'm going to put a 7 in the ones. So this is 637. And because I had this bracket here, I have a nice space between each of my place values to help my work be more neat. You should have the same. Then we're going to go ahead and add our lower addend. Again, using our place value holders, especially writing on a screen, it can get pretty messy, okay? So we need to make sure that we're lining these up. So now I'm going to add a 200 plus 9 tens, which is 90, plus 4 ones. So 637 plus 294. This is how we add up these addends, by separating them into the ones, tens, and hundreds columns. So now let's add this. We have 7 ones plus 4 ones. That equals 11. So we have to put our 10 up here and our 1 in the ones place. We can't place both digits here because there's only room for the ones. Just like if we were looking at a cash register drawer, we wouldn't put the $10 bills where the $1 bills are. That would be confusing when we're attempting to count later. So we have a place for each one of these. Now we have the tens. We have a 10 plus 3 tens, that's 40. Plus 9 more tens. Well, I need to use my fingers for this. 4 plus 9, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. I can't put that 2-digit number here. I need to put my 3 tens, and we know when we have 10 tens, that equals 100. Also, I want you to notice I just used my fingers. You've been given fingers for a reason. Use them, okay? I know some teachers say that that's not a good strategy. That does not make any sense, because it's a perfect tool to make sure you don't get it wrong, all right? I've seen all of you. I've worked with you. You know how to move your fingers, so use them, all right? There is no shame in that. Even as an adult, I'll still do this sometimes and tap how many I need to add. That is okay, all right? Now I'm going to add my hundreds. 100 plus 6 hundreds, that's 7 hundreds. Plus 2 more, that's 8 900s. So my answer is 931. So in order to draw this bracket, that's all you do, and it helps to keep your work neat, especially when you are working on a computer. It's very easy to make our work, remember this, look messed up. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it nice and neat, and these brackets can help us, okay? So this is a lineup strategy that can help you until you become more fluent at writing in order correctly and quickly, okay? All right, as always, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this and upload it to Seesaw for you. So if you did not finish, that is okay. This will be on Seesaw and you can catch up on that. Okay, let me get this picture taken really quick. There we go, awesome. All right, I will upload that to Seesaw and you can have those notes there to copy if you still need time, okay? All right, you are going to use this lineup strategy today on your Seesaw assignment. Now, as you know, I've already told you that you're going to have grid paper. So we've used a grid paper line to help you more easily line up your place values. But you won't always have grid paper, which is why we went ahead and showed you this strategy. Now this is interesting. Someone has already turned it in. Oh, nope. And we are on the middle of Zoom. Okay, so when you add your response, you're going to look at the video and the instructions. We did that. You're going to complete each exercise using the pencil or pen tool, okay? You're going to check your work before you hit the green button. All right, so I'm gonna add my response. And here we go. You will notice that you have the grid just like I told you that you would. There's grid paper. If you ever want to add your own grid paper in your background, you can select the grid paper. For this assignment, I am assessing your ability to line up numbers. So if you change the background, you didn't complete the assignment because now I don't see that your digits are lined up. So you need to leave this background as the grid paper for this assignment. Something else that I'd like to make you aware of is that this will erase. So if you make a mistake and you write the wrong thing down here and you go to erase it, you'll have to be very careful because you can erase the problem. If you do that, there's two things you can do. You can press this arrow that's pointing backwards, which is undo, and it will bring back that work. And you can do that a couple times. So there's 4 things I want to undo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is one way if you make a mistake to get it back, okay? You can use this back arrow. If you mess it up so bad, like it's completely gone and you have no clue how you're going to get it back, well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to X out, you're going to delete, and you're going to start over because I have to see your work, okay? So if you make that mistake, you can use those back arrows to get your work back. If you mess it up so badly that you can't find it, you need to start over, okay? I will be asking you to start over if you turn in this work with missing pages. Something else that I've noticed is that some people are going here and clicking delete. And that doesn't work because you have to hit confirm. So if that happens, that tells me that you did that on purpose. You can click that undo button and bring it back. But if you can't figure that out, you're gonna have to X out and start over so that your work comes back, okay? I am going to be grading this response today. This is day 3 of adding. You've had 3 days of practice, so I'm going to be grading this. So you're going to get a point for this slide. You're going to get a point for this slide. And you're going to get 2 points for this slide. 1 point is going to be for writing the numbers in the correct squares. Another point is going to be for getting the correct answer. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to be checking, do you know how to line it up with your ones, tens, and hundreds, and did you get the correct answer? This one is also going to be worth 2 points. 1 point for lining up your ones, tens, and hundreds, and another point for adding the numbers correctly. Okay, so this assignment is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. All right. You have 4 problems to solve. The numbers for this problem come here. The numbers for this problem come here. Okay? What questions can I answer about your assignment expectations? Assignment expectation questions only. If it is not about the assignment, I'm going to click mute. Levin.
I don't really get 3 and 4.
Okay, let's look at problems 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, instead of using the addition symbol, they have given them to you here. Add 464 and 568. So just like we did in our notes, I'm going to stack 464 on top of 568, and I'm going to add them just like we did here. Okay, so instead of showing you the problem like number 1 and 2 do, it's seeing if you know how to create the problem like we did in the notes. So you're just going to stack them up and add them. Does that answer your question, or are you still confused? Hold on, I gotta let you unmute. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, what other questions about the assignment can I answer? Terrence.
Is it kind of like building a building?
Yeah.
Stacking it.
Yeah, you could think of it that way. You don't want your building to be built slanted because we know it'll start to fall. That's a great connection. Awesome. Thank you for that. It's a good image in my head. Sophia.
We just start doing it now.
Yes. Okay. All right, so we have 10 minutes until you're going to log off. So go ahead and open your Seesaw in the background and begin working on that assignment. We have 10 minutes until we're logging off, so go ahead and open that up and begin working. If you have a question, please go ahead and unmute yourself to ask that question during these 10 minutes. You are getting ready right now to go to lunch. Okay, so your lunch break is coming up at 11:15. That's also going to be your recess break until 12. Several of you have asked for help from me, and that's fantastic. Remember, you log in at 12 and get that help. Camille on Seesaw, you asked for help in a comment. Make sure you log in with me at 12 so I can help you, okay? At 1:35, you have music again. At 2:20, you will dismiss with me. Miss Gray is going to hold her office hours on Zoom during music. So if you are confused on the assignment, you can go to her inbox and click on her Zoom link, okay? Let's talk about this 12 o'clock time. If you do not need help on Zoom with me, then you are still working on math. That is still our STEM class time. You are to be working on Zern and Prodigy, not or. You need to do both today. So you need to spend some time on Zern. You need to spend some time on Prodigy. Both of those assignments are connected to our adding, okay? So spend some time on Zern and on Prodigy when you finish that Seesaw assignment after lunch and recess, okay? All right, that is all I have for you. If you do not have any questions, have a fantastic lunch. If you do have questions, I have 3 minutes to answer them. I will stay on with you.